What's up, tricksters and tricksetas, and welcome to another free VOD review presented by favorite coach CHARLATAN. Today, at our coaching table, we have our friend Elechim91. He is a Platinum Omen main playing on Breeze. And yes, this is officially the first Breeze VOD review in the last 3 years. Now, I'm still figuring out how to play this map in the most efficient and effective way in ranked solo queue, and the ranked playbook for Breeze should be completed in the next 2 weeks maximum. But this can be a really good practice for us, you know, to see like how many of these tips, tricks, rules, solutions actually work on Breeze, and what our friend Elechim should do better. Now, our friend Elechim is basically one of the players that I previously coached, and he is currently on some kind of a training, aim training, everything, you know, like, I'm not gonna bore you with that stuff. What I want to say to you, man, is that your performance looks much better than before in terms of ADR, KD, and a lot of the other stats, to be honest. And I think it's time to maybe switch you to Jet instead of Omen. Like, I think after closely reviewing, you know, like all of the data, I'm gonna do that, you know, offline later. I'm gonna review your playbook and data tracking document. But when I took a peek into some of that data, I feel that maybe we should pick Jet as a main agent for the next like month, and Omen as a flex and fill. But we'll see. First, let's focus on this Breeze VOD review. Let's see what you can do better on Breeze and what you can do better on Omen. Now, for all of the people watching in the chat, let's make some kind of a prediction. Since we don't have the VOD, I mean, we can do anything, to be honest. So, ooh, I didn't finish this prediction, and I don't know what happened there. Sorry, chat. So, let's make a prediction. Very simple. Start a prediction. Moment, be ready, chat. You have only 1 minute. Okay, you have 2 minutes. 1 minute, actually. Okay, so basically, yeah, let's start with the Breeze. Let's start with your Omen gameplay. Let's see what you can do better there, because I really... There's nothing else to talk about here. We're gonna finish everything through private messages. So, we have Brizeroni Baberoni, and we have Omenori. Omenonori. Omeno El Rori. Gambling? Yeah, bro. What kind of data? Every single player that I coach, I force them to make a data tracking document. You can find the example of these type of documents in my Radiant Improvement Guide. That's how the video is called. Like, Valorant Tracker is just shit. You know, based on Valorant Tracker, very rarely you can tell what's actually the player's problem. You know, you don't have any VODs, any data, anything. Like, you just have basic stuff. So, yeah. Now,
30 seconds left.
No. No, Valorant Tracker is good, like, for, you know, in-game analysis and stuff like that, and the in-game guides. Just when it comes to reviewing the trackers, I mean, 50% of times, you are just making a blind guess. Like, literally a blind guess. It's much better when the player puts like makes a Google document where he puts in like the VODs, clips, own opinions, and stuff like that. Now, Breeze. So the new Breeze is very similar to the old Breeze. I'm not gonna lie, with a closed tube. Like, practically, Breeze is still a very long range map with a lot of long range and medium range fights. So you mainly want to prioritize, you know, the long-range weapons, like, you know, the Ghost, Bandit, Sheriff, Bulldog, Guardian, Vandal, Marshal, Outlaw, and Operator. Like, these weapons are the weapons that you primarily want to abuse, but of course, like, with the Breeze redesign, it is quite, it also became easier playing the close-range weapons and having a bit better weapon versatility on this map to fuck up the enemies. Now, when it comes to the Breeze on the attacker side, this is what I would recommend to you in the early rounds. So A-Site is like... Oh, I'm sorry. A-Site on the attacker side should be like your... Okay, sorry, let's recap a bit. B-Site is your number 1 priority. Default bomb site. A-Site number 2 priority. Mid-area of the map number 3 priority. In the first 4 to 6 rounds, you should mainly try to persuade your teammates to do the 5-man executes on B and A. Just measuring the strengths and cogs between your team and the enemy team. Like, what you do early on this map completely depends on the team compositions as well. Like, for example, on Breeze, if enemies have like 0 hardcore sentinels, like basically they only have a chamber or veto as a sentinel and no other sentinels whatsoever, 3 rounds in a row, do a 5-man push onto the B site, and in the 4th round, we can do some kind of a fake. Fake B go A, fake A go B, or we can simply go A and change the pattern a bit. If enemies have one sentinel, like they have, I don't know, Sage or Cypher or Vise, something like that, then 3 rounds in a row, go A, and in the 4th round make a change. And if enemies somehow have 2 or more sentinels, like they have, I don't know, Sage and Cypher for some reason, in the 1st round, do the split onto the A site. Like basically 2-3 or a 1-4 split. So basically 3-4 players are going through mid, 1 or 2 players are taking aim and area of the map, and we're taking the A site control. When it comes to Breeze, whenever you are playing some kind of an eco halberd bonus round, the best idea is always to be more focused towards the B site. It's just easier to scale out onto the bomb site with a new site design, especially because now we can drop this type of a smoke setup that allows us to go for a lot of aggressive plays and to completely avoid any long range fights. You know, most of the fights that you're gonna take are gonna be medium range and close range. When enemies are eco halberd or bonus, like the best idea is still to do a 5-man push onto A site and to primarily focus onto the A site when the enemies have low buy rounds. What's really important on this map is that you're very careful when you're clearing the main areas of the maps. Like, always be aware of an aggressive early peek from the enemies in the B main, elbow, doors, and A main area of the map. There is a counter for all of these 4 aggressive peaks. Like, you need to consistently be aware of this type of shit. Now, on Breeze, it's also very important that you control what type of utility your sentinels are giving you for the flanks and lurks. Like, basically, you know, right now we have Killjoy as the main sentinel. Not, you know, Killjoy is kind of shit on Breeze, I'm not gonna lie. But, okay, you know, okay. So, for an example, you know, if you're doing a B push, like, Killjoy should always give you the alarm bot for the tri-lane, you know, flank. If you're doing the A push, Killjoy should most of the times give you a turret that is holding the flank like this, or a turret that is a bit outer turret like this, and holding the flank like this. So, you know, it's a shit Sentinel for this map, but as long as we cover this position, we cover this position, we should be fine. Now, when should you default and basically split a bit more on this map? As soon as you notice the 5-man executes are not working, your main focus should be the mid area of the map. and trying to make some kind of a pressure right there. Now, with the new redesign of Breeze, like, Omen is more than viable as a solo controller on this map. The only controllers that are really shit on this map are Brimstone and Clove. And Harbor, of course, like, God forbid. Brimstone and Clove because they have a limited smoke range, you know? Like, literally, they have the iPad, and on a defender side, you're not gonna have fun. And Harbor because Harbor is a piece of dog shit. So yeah. Now, in the first round, as I already mentioned, you know, we take a look at the enemy's team composition. Enemies have a Cypher. This should be a 5-man push onto the A site. And in the first round, if you're pushing A, this is what you should be doing with Omen. So basically, we should, you know, we take a Ghost, 2 Smokes, and 1 Shrouded Step. Your goal is the following. We need to clear the aim area of the map either with some utility or by just jump spotting the enemies and gathering the info like this. A lot of times what I also like to do, I like to spam this position here if I think that enemies are gonna peek us and play a bit more aggressively because the box is spammable with medium and high pen weapons. But in the first round, like, the best idea is just to tell your recon agent or someone with a flash ability or recon ability to simply give you the info if enemies want to be more aggressive in the aiming area of the map. Like in this specific match, like we can just tell our Sky, can you please use one of your birds above this box here and just give me the intel if the enemies are playing more aggressively in the aiming area of the map. And in the first round, if you're pushing A site, you're basically doing your default execute onto the A site. Now, what is your default execute now? The first smoke is always smoke for the middle of the site, and it looks like this. Second smoke is always the smoke for the left side, and it looks like this. When you put in this left smoke, always put it exactly like this. Why? You don't want to give enemies an option. I see a lot of players, they do the left smoke like this. Now you're just giving one player an option to get on top of this box, and then when your teammates are like, you know, let's say your teammates want to push this smoke, they're just never gonna expect a possibility that one enemy might be on top of the box. So just, you know, put the smoke towards the enemies, like we do on any bomb site or any area of the map. So this should be your smoke setup for the first round. And when you're executing A set in a first round, your only job is to do this as your teammates are going out. This teleport now is mega giga super safe. Why? Because now the enemy in this cubby position don't see you. Like we really don't need to complicate anything with our smokes or try to teleport here and there, this and das, deine, eine, meine. Like you can just simply do this and scale out together with your teammates, together with your jet, and that's it. One thing that you can maybe do for the first round, if you need to play a bit more aggressively, you know, if you need to take the charge of the execute, when you put in the second smoke, you can use it as a mid-air smoke up in the air, but just make sure that on the minimap, the smoke looks like this. Like it is still providing a good cover for your teammates as it drops down, but it is giving us the cover to basically teleport up here into the smoke, and then when the smoke goes down, you're gonna have this type of a setup, and you can instantly focus yourself on clearing this angle, and then just from above, raining the terror and fire onto the enemies. Also from this off angle, you can see the enemies at the backside, and maybe you get a few picks left and right. So those are the two options that you have for the A set execute. You don't need to complicate too much, because the bomb site is now 10 times easier for the retake. As long as we clear these angles with some early utility, or the jet dash ability, or some kind of a flash, like you can teleport into this position 9 out of 10 times. Especially, like if you have a paranoia, and you can maybe, you know, flash the enemies on the left side, or flash the enemies on the right side, you literally cover almost every position where the enemies can hide and camp at that moment of time. So your kind of default execute on Breeze, these days is just smoke this, paranoia either left, paranoia either right, and we go. That's it. A lot of the times you don't even have to use a teleport here, but it's a really good idea that you scale out with a teleport so that you don't get randomly spammed through the smoke, so that you don't die from some utility, so that you take more space for your team and you give more confidence to your teammates to scale out onto the bomb site. Now, once you teleport, you have two options. Option number one is to instantly focus on clearing the right side, checking this position and jump spotting enemies at the back side and clearing this area of the map with your team. Option number two, maybe you can get into the smoke and try to search for a timing to peek out when your teammates are applying the pressure from the right side. But you don't need to do this in the first round most of the time. Other than that, everything is very straightforward. Like, the new Breeze is like any other map that you would play in Valorant. Right now, the only bad map in Valorant is Abyss. Every other map is fine for ranked solo queue. When it comes to using Paranoia for the aim and area of the map, you should do something like this. Only if enemies are always fucking you up in the aim and area of the map. And you need to support your teammates to not die again from, I don't know, some pop flashes, molotovs, utility, etc, etc. Otherwise, it's much better if you tell your Sky to use a flash, spam this box, tell your Neon to use a stun. Your Paranoia is still a very good tool to execute the bomb sites and to apply the pressure onto the enemies. Especially, with a new A site, a lot of the times what you can do is once you teleport on site, that is the moment of time when you can use your Paranoia, basically to fight this enemy, to take more space at the backside from the smokes, to engage the enemies on timing and to fuck them up. So you don't need to force yourself to use Paranoia, during the executes, if you already have a lot of information where are the enemies at that moment of time. These positions are not playable anymore, so you don't need to clear those angles. All we have to do is just check the aim and area of the map, clear these positions, jump spot the enemies, and once we do that, smoky smoke, smoky smoke, and we can go out with our team. Let's see what our friend is gonna do. Going B in this first round is already a bit of a mistake. Enemies have Cypher in their team. In 90% of games on Breeze, that Cypher is gonna anchor the B site, and he's gonna be playing the B site in the first round. Now, if your teammates really wanna push B in the first round, I would recommend you to do one of these two things, following things. So, you have two buy options if you're pushing the B site. So, you can get a classic, light shield, 2 smokes, 2 shrouded steps. But you can also get a ghost, 2 smoke and 1 shrouded step. In the first round, I would actually recommend to you that you use a bit more of a selfish setup. Basically where you lead the charge into the site, but the problem is this match is we have a Jet and we have a Neon. If Jet and Neon cannot dash in, slide into the site, and take the space for us, I don't know, man. Their only job is to just go in. And we can probably use the jet smoke to teleport in and to take space with the jet. So, only because of the team compositions, what I would simply recommend to you right now is get a ghost, 2 smokes and 1 shrouded step. Do this smoke. This is your default smoke setup for the B site. Do this smoke for the CT. And basically, as your teammates are moving in, you can just teleport around the neon wall, or you can teleport inside of the Omen, inside of the jet smoke ability. But if you need to scale out together with them, or they are way too scared to go out, the only thing that you can do right now that is like semi-safe is doing a blind teleport in the middle of the bomb site. You know, we are risking only 2 positions, this one here and this one here. Anyways, we have a Sky Flash, we have a Sky Dog. Like, we should be able to get some information in this round before we decide where to teleport. Let's see what our friend is gonna do. Like, what's really important here is that we don't lose the timing to play with our teammates. Like, basically, you know, as you're scaling out with your allies. So we're running fast B. So, as you deploy the second smoke, and as your teammates are going out, you should already be here, ready to tip in. Let me tell you something. Like, if you drop this type of a smoke setup, like, this smoke here is just practically useless. I mean, you're still leaving 1 additional angle from which enemies can kill us wide open, and enemies can just scale out from the CT without any worry and take the fights with us and make some kind of a crossfire, potentially. Also, like, I would always recommend to you, if you're pushing the B set of Breeze, smoke this and smoke this. That's it. Like, there's no other smoke setup that you should be doing on Breeze, like, when it comes to the default smoke setup. So, you know, change this this smoke. You see this? And now you need to worry about the right side for absolutely no reason, as you're taking the space onto the bomb site. Why? Also, I'm not gonna mention, but I mean, I need to mention how we took space here is absolutely criminalius rex. Like, if you just want to scale out, if you want to scale out onto the B site without using a teleport, dash or something, you're always trying to go onto the left side as soon as possible, so that we can start fighting for the elbow control, mid-side control, and planting the spike. Like, you never want to be here, ever. Like, you never want to get stuck in that corner. You never want to scale out first, like this, in the middle of the site, exposed from this, and this peak. Just go from the left side, take the elbow, take the site, clear the elbow completely, and then plant the spike. Basically, the B set of Abyss is kind of same shit as B set of... the B set of Abyss is kind of same shit as B set of Breeze. And one of your main priorities is clearing the left side first, and then focusing on the front side and planting the spike. So you cannot, especially with a classic pistol, I mean, we cannot take all of these fights with a classic pistol. Also, angle clearing, 0 points. I'm not gonna lie. So, you're going out of the choke point here. We jump spot the enemies first. We check these angles. We check this position, this position, this position. Now, we check this spot. We check backside. And now we can actually plant the spike as our teammates are covering us up. And that's it. This gap that you left for the B-Link is quite dangerous, man. Literally, this is not how your default smoke setup should look like when you're executing the B set of Breeze. Like, you always want to put one smoke here, one smoke here. And you're using Paranoia for the left side primarily, like this. Or you're using Paranoia for the right side if you get the info that enemies are here. But your default Paranoia on the B side should be this. With this Paranoia, 90% of the times, you're safe to teleport in the middle of the bomb site. And this is like your bread and butter type of execute. You know, the most common execute you should be doing on the B set of Breeze. When you're playing eco rounds, halberd rounds and bonus rounds, then we do a different smoke setup. We use this smoke here, and we use this smoke here. And once again, you know, our primary focus can be teleporting with this type of Paranoia in the middle of the bomb site, and then we can try to outmaneuver the enemies through the smokes, close the gap with them, kill them with a classic pistol, shorty, Bucky, Stinger, Spectre, Judge, Bandit, Sheriff, Ghost, whatever the fuck you have in that eco halberd bonus round. So yeah, you know, those are the two setups that you should be using most of the time. Now, which smoke is more important out of these two? I would say that the smoke on the right side is more important because you completely cover the vision from the enemies that are in the mid area of the map and that are behind the wall. So you leave only one angle open instead of two. So if you have only one smoke, this smoke is always your number one priority. Number two. Number one. Number two. And that's practically it. You know, it's as simple as that. Like, there's nothing else that you need to figure out or do on this map. Like, sometimes, you know, in eco rounds and halberd rounds, if enemies are fucking you up from this position, you can just switch this smoke into a third setup and do something like this, for an example, where your only objective is to plant the spike and really close the gap with the enemies as much as you can with your smokes. And as I already mentioned, like 90% of times, if you have a Paranoia for the left side, you can just teleport in the middle of the bomb site. You don't need to teleport in any smoke or create any weird setup to make your smokes more useful or something like that.
Who mid?
Also, I need to mention that what your Killjoy and Sky are doing is absolutely criminal. We should have just done a 5-man push onto the B site. Sky has a fucking dog. She has one flesh as well. Killjoy's boombot, it's okay. You know, that boombot is fine. But a much more efficient usage of Killjoy's utility on Breeze is the following. Like, it is much better if this Killjoy puts some kind of a turret, like this, for an example. Basically, the turret can scout the enemies from the elbow and the enemies from the mid as well, if that Killjoy already want to lurk through the B-Link area of the map. Or, even better, if she's going onto the site with you, that Killjoy can simply do a turret here like this. And now, you know, she can play anywhere on the bomb site, and the turret is still active. The problem of the alarm bot is that, you know, if you put alarm bot here, you're limiting yourself way too much. Way too much. If you put... the only good alarm bot is this one, but then, you know, enemies can kill you through the window. So, you know, you need to tell your killjoy to mainly use the boom bot as a recon tool. To reveal the enemies and to, like, give us the info about the flank and lurk. Turret here. Turret here. Like this. And that's it. You know? Simple as that. Now, I don't know, this one was mega weird because we pushed into the bomb site literally with a very weird smoke setup. Two of our teammates are mid as well, and elbow. Like, very weird round overall, like, I don't know how we even survived. How we even survived this. Now, people are asking in the chat, what if you're splitting B site? If you're splitting B site, you can only use one smoke setup. Like, basically, you smoke the tower, and you smoke the CT area of the map, like this. There's nothing else you can do. Every other smoke setup is either way too dangerous or a bit useless whatsoever. So yeah. I don't understand, like, why did you buy a classic pistol here if you didn't have a you know, if your plan was not to do some kind of an aggressive execute and teleport into the bomb site and close the gap with the enemies. But okay, generally speaking, like, we learned a lot in this first round. We learned that Cypher is indeed the B player, and he played at the backside in the elbow. We learned that Reyna was the B-Link connector player, basically. Like, you know, she was somewhere around mid. We learned that Phoenix, Clove, and Fade were mainly the A players. Generally speaking, like, the enemy team composition is absolutely dog shit for defending the bomb sites. Like, basically, we should not be defaulting against this team composition maximum for 2 rounds in the 12 rounds on the attacker side. Like, basically, we know that Cypher is gonna play 80% of rounds on B site, minimum. Phoenix, Clove, Fade, and Reyna defending A site and mid, quite impossible. You know, like, basically, you have Sky, Neon, Jet, Omen. They can only kill you and F you up by purely based on aim and mechanics. So there is really no reason to complicate this match whatsoever. The more we complicate this game, the less success we're gonna find 100%. Especially at such a low skill level in Valorant. Okay, now, in the second anti-eco round, on the attacker's side, if you save the light shield from the first round, you have many buy options, to be honest. Like, the first buy option is you can get the Marshal or Outlaw. It's totally fine, you know? Anyways, you're not playing Jet, you're not playing Neon, you're not playing Yoru. You don't need to force up close and personal fights. This map is still ginormous, gigantic, and you can always force some long range fights, so that's fine. You can go for the Bulldog, which is probably the most optimal choice on this map for the anti-eco and bonus round as well. So those would be my primary 3 buy options that I would recommend to you. Everything else is just absolutely waste of money and waste of a potential for a second anti-eco round and a third bonus round. Getting the Phantom and Vandal is still absolutely dumb, especially with a light shield in a second round, because Bandit is mega fucking powerful. Like, in these eco rounds, like, I mean, if you fight the Bandit on on 0 to 30 meters with a light shield, you're not gonna have fun, you know, and you invested a lot of credits to get a Phantom and Vandal, and if you lose that Phantom and Vandal, we're gonna have problems later. Stinger, Spectre, Bucky, Judge. Only if you want to play super aggressively, but still, the map is heavily medium range, long range map. I would not really recommend to you that you prioritize those weapons for this second anti-eco round and a bonus round. And pistols are out of any question, like whoever plays pistols in a second anti-eco round is mentally disabled person, to be honest. So yeah, you know, I would just recommend to you, focus on this, and fuck everything else. Yo, what's up, man? I don't know about the Stinger, man. Like, buying Stinger here would be fine if your idea is to push the B site again. Because on B site, yes, we can force a lot of the close range gunfights. You don't really need to force any long range or medium range fights. But Stinger is a huge gamble. Especially when you're mentally disoriented teammates decide to play 4 pistols in the anti-bonus round. Like, the absolutely best idea here was to get a Bulldog. Like, just to be done with this round and to have the highest chances of killing multiple enemies at the same moment of time and just refragging your allies left and right. Marshal and Outlaw would also not be bad options. Why? Because we noticed that our Neon and Jet are hyper-aggressive. So, as they're going in, we can act as a backup support and maybe get a few kills from the back. Now, as I already mentioned, you know, whenever enemies are eco hull by bonus on a defender side of Breeze, you should go A, but a really good idea in the first 3 rounds is to push the same side 3 rounds in a row, but we already fucked up there because we pushed B in the first round against Cypher. So we should go A definitely in this round. Хорошо! Now listen. Your teammates wanna fight mid. Your teammates wanna fight mid. And we're doing some kind of A split. Rule number 1. Always play with your teammates on mid if you have 2 or more teammates there. Even Neon going alone through the aiming area of the map is fine. Absolutely fine. Your teammates have so much higher chances of dying in mid compared to any other area of the map. Number 2. When you're doing the A split, there is only one smoke setup that you can do. Only one. You smoke the left side, here like this, and you do a trial and smoke here, where you smoke the whole backside. But just keep in mind, when you're using this smoke, here, if you don't have a recon tool for top mid, always be ready for some kind of a sneaky play through the smoke. So as you're taking space, be ready for this enemy, you know, like until the moment of time where your anal cavity is either protected by your teammates or by some kind of a wall and cover. And when you're doing this trial and smoke, right here, the only problem of this smoke... Oh, okay, that smoke is really bad. So, the only problem with this smoke is that enemies can still see you from the tower. So, you know, you can just clear it. You know, place your crosser on this position. It is that simple. Like, just as you're going out, check that spot a bit, and then let's move into the bomb site. And as you're moving into the bomb site, you can use your paranoia maybe for the backside to clear the site. But, you know, I really hope that our Neon is gonna be fast enough to connect this split with us. Anyways, playing this anti-eco round in this way is just absolutely fucking stupid. Like, we're just giving enemies more chances to fuck us up based on timing and luck. nonsense. Plus, we have 4 pistols. No, man, they're gonna lose this round 100%. 100%, bro. Especially if you don't give them the smoke on mid. 100% loss. This is a very good info. This is a very good info. So we got the info right now that enemies are doing early recon utility in the aiming area of the map that we can dodge in the future to delay a push, keep our location a secret, and then do the execute again. But also we got the info that enemies like to fight for the aiming area of the map, so we need to be ready for these fights. Angle clearing 0 points. Take your time, man. You know, take your time. Like, connect your movement with your crosshair placement. So you clear. You're playing with a stinger. From this angle, from this distance, jiggle in, jiggle out. Check these off angles. Check this position. Look at your angle clearing. Crosshair placement nowhere. Movement nowhere to be found. You never want to take this fight. Even if you had a Vandal, Phantom, or Operator, you don't want to take this fight blindly. Like when you come here first, and enemies already know that you're pushing A site. Jump spot. Get the information. Information is everything, you know, like, get the info for your crosser, so that you know where you're fighting the enemies, where should you pre-fire, where should you dead zone. A lot of the players like to play this angle as well, jump spot the enemies, and then go. Also here as well. Jump spot this corner, then you can swing these angles, check this position, jump spot again, now you can move out. Get the information, you know. Especially if you reveal the enemies at the backside. What you can do with Omen when you have long range weapons. So enemies are playing backside. Let me just teleport up there. And from this position, take the freest of all free kills. Now, when it comes to this teleport early on in a round, like, it's okay when you have some support in terms of utility. You know, your teammates are doing some early flash, early recon ability. You are dropping this type of a paranoia, like, okay, but, you know, it's a bit of a waste. I'm not gonna lie, like, because it's better if you get first the information, whether or not you should try to peek the enemies from this position, and then just use a teleport and kill the enemies at the backside. Like, it's simple as that. The map is just way too simple right now, way too simple. Which I like a lot, to be honest. In ranked solo queue, the maps have to be like this. Okay. As I already mentioned, like, when you get the info that enemies are not left, not right, and you have this smoke setup, you don't need to move into the side with the shrouded steps. You can just move on with your feet, and then use your paranoia to engage enemies at the backside and to take more space. Here, for an example, using paranoia at the backside would not be a bad idea. Just so that we have easier time killing this Phoenix, so that we don't have to worry about Phoenix playing here and here as well. Like with the paranoia, we can just isolate one angle, jump spot the enemies again, and get the info. Always, so when you're taking the A site of Breeze, your number one priority is always to clear the backside, the right position here. That's your number one priority. Everything else is either a secondary priority or something that you do if you need to go for some aggressive outplays and aggressive plays that we're gonna talk about a bit later.
One inside my mid.
One.
So, the only thing that you should have done in this round, there's a lot of better things you could have done. Like, number one, when you started the round, jump spot this angle, clear these angles a bit better. Number two, don't peek this position. Just jump spot it, get the info about the Phoenix, and that's it. Number three, smokes were good, but when you ended up on the bomb site, you should have immediately focused yourself on killing the Phoenix at the backside and taking the backside control. And then number four, we just plant the spike. And that's it. Now, when you're planting the spike on the A site, like 99% of times, you should just simply plant the spike wide open for the front side, for every position, basically. Like 99% of times. And just plant it right here, like this, towards the wall. We can see this spike plant. Even if you end up here, you can see it from the A main area of the map and basically play this off angle as well and take very easy kills onto the enemies. And if you're stuck on the right side, like, you'll just have to peek a bit wider, but, you know, it's better than an enemy hiding there and defusing the spike. So a wide open plant right now should be your default plant on the A side of Breeze. On the B side, it really depends how you want to play the post plant, but still the best position to plant the spike is here. But if your teammates, you don't know if you're gonna end up top mid, behind the broken wall, CT, or something like that, you can also do some kind of an open plant, like basically on the edge here or here, where you can basically see the spike from multiple different locations and not only from the front side and B-main and window.
One inside my mid smoke.
One.
You should have fought here a bit more aggressively with your jet and prioritize taking the backside control before anything else. Not bad. Not bad. Okay, heavy shield utility. I mean, you know, we're kind of developing this AB pattern here. And, you know, sometimes even Platinum players are gonna use their brain. Sometimes. It's not always gonna happen, but sometimes even Platinum players are gonna start reading you and punishing you. So, but now we're kind of forced to push B-side because we're playing a bonus round and we have the shit weapons. But in the same time, I mean, our Mashallah Neon has a Vandal. Our Fox Jet has a Vandal as well. We can also push A and cut the pattern a bit. You know, already the first two rounds we got a lot of information about the enemies. A lot of the info. Like, we know that enemies are mainly prioritizing the A side defense, and they're using the Fade Dog as an early info to rotate. We can dodge the dog, on contact push A, explode, and probably get the side for free. But also, like, I mean, we know Cypher is playing B. God knows what type of setup Cypher is gonna have. And in this round, we need to play aggressively. Like, in this round, I will not do the, I will do a default setup, only because my Neon and Jet have the Vandals. So I don't want to fuck them up. But you still need to play hyper aggressively with this Stinger and try to close the gap with the enemies as your teammates are going out. Basically dropping this Paranoia, teleporting in the middle of the bomb site, and just taking the space together with your teammates. Is there any TP you can do from here except the box? Nothing? That's sad.
Andiamo, pausa finita.
Zombie killjoy.
Pausa finita. I think our lives are gonna be finita now, considering we were pushing B-set against Cypher. I love that you're aware of this push. Like, always be ready for the enemy's peak in the B-main area of the map. But your Sky already cleared the B-main area of the map. So just go. Like, you simply cannot spend too much time in this area of the map. Because as soon as you clear the B-main, you need to instantly focus on the elbow push. and hold this for your team. Even better if you're making noise and sound, jump spot the enemies here, and then, you know, reset yourself.
Via, via, via! Nemico in B. Scorciatoia.
I also don't understand, like, why are you the one carrying the spike? Especially in this round where you need to play hyper-aggressive with a stinger. Also, right now, we got all of the info that we needed. We know that Cypher is backside, on top of the boxes. We should just paranoid that Cypher, teleport into the bomb site, and let's fuck him up. Smoke setup, once again, is horrible. Like, when you're pushing B, always, this is your default smoke setup.
Nemico in B. Scorciatoia.
Now, we talked about this a lot of times. In these bonus rounds, eco rounds, halberd rounds, feel free to play more aggressively when you see an opportunity to fuck up an enemy and take space. I am 90% confident that enemies started in the same way that they did in the previous 2 rounds. Cypher is solo B, Reyna is probably around top mid B link, and Phoenix, Fade and Clover around A set and A doors. Just go. You know, let's try to kill that Cypher before the rest of his team connects with him. That's a free kill for you. We can easily paranoid him and run him down with a stinger from the backside and just win this round for our team. Of course, you should drop the spike to your teammates before you go for it. Don't be afraid in these type of rounds to play more aggressively and to try to take more space for your team. Especially in these bonus rounds, you know, if you already use your smokes for an execute, use them somehow. You know, like, just go in.
Go back.
Start to go back on A.
Nemico in B.
Don't commit. Go from me.
I don't know why you didn't force, guys. Why you still save it?
I just can't believe that Platinum players in Valorant still don't know the basic rules of economy management. Like, the game is out for 6 years. There's so many guides, so many tips and tricks, bro. Like, but it's not only Platinum. Like, when I see Immortal players like playing with 4 pistols or 5 pistols in a second round, I wanna unalive myself.
Nemico avvistato al centro. Fine della corsa.
Nice, good job.
Good smoke. Okay, it could have been better. You know, precision over the speed, please. You can fuck us up now. I got PTSD hearing Italian Valorant. Now, my friend. So, what do we do right now? We push the bomb site only through the short area of the map. So what is your number 1 priority? Clearing the aim area of the map. But let me also tell you something. Like, when you're pushing the bomb site through a short area of the map, and you have no idea where are the enemies. Like, right now, enemies on A site can be literally back site, middle of site, behind this box, and in the aim in as well. You are 3 versus 4 in a bonus round. Your number 1 objective is not to plant the spike. Planting the spike right now is just a complete suicide. Literally a Sudoku. Relax. Chill. Right now you should be playing with your Sky, trying to cut off the enemy's rotation, and trying to fuck up the enemies in some of these medium range and close range fights around the tower, backside, and CT. Because you simply can't push alone through this area of the map here, expecting that you're gonna live a happy life when you're overexposed from the tower, backside, and all of these angles here. You're gonna die 100%. You have 41 seconds to plant the spike. More than enough. More than enough to slow down a bit and try to search for some kills before we plant the spike. Okay, man, like, you know, and out of all of the positions where you want to plant the spike, you decide to plant the spike in a spot where... Okay, Jesus Christ, he sees him anyways, but... Bro. Ray Charles will kill you in this position. Easily. Easily. Like, if you already wanted to force the plant somewhere, like, the best idea was to maybe drop a paranoia for the Amen area of the map, because Phoenix was in the Amen, and he is probably still there. To scale up here, check the backside, and now at the backside, plant the spike with a cover. But planting the spike here... Yeah, sorry, not Phoenix, like, I meant Fade. Fade, because Fade was the A player that was dogging the Amen area of the map. So, you know, I have no idea right now where are the enemies. Fade was always the A player. Clove as well. Reyna was usually around top mid, but we saw her on the B set and saw her rotating through the CT. So, I don't know. I can't believe that we planted the spike for free like that. Very good positioning. In every other full buy round, I would have told you that you're a maniac and that you should not play like this. My brother has a stinger, paranoia, 2 shrouded steps. Amazing decision making. This is what I like to see. Right now, all you have to do is play around this orange box and get some free kills. But it is still quite dangerous that we have 0 info on the site. Like, we didn't clear the back site. You're not even... I don't know how you're not even... how you're not afraid, bro? Like, do you have wall hacks? Do you know something I don't know, bro? Like, actually, like, how do you know that someone is not backside? And in the Amen area of the map? This play here is a bit unnecessary. And the reason is only because it's going to be harder for you to isolate the fights with your teammates. And your teammates to help you out. But, I mean, okay, you have a stinger like so. And also holding this angle in this way, a bit of a suicide. The absolutely best position that you could have played in this post point is just here. Literally here. And just on timing, you try to get the frags as your Sky and Jet are getting the contact with the enemies. Also here, like, you're fully overexposed from behind. I mean, like, you cannot play in positions like this, where enemies can kill you on timing, and you play them passively. You need to be gathering information, left and right, so that you can decide where you want to fight. You know? Like, you could have maybe played here. You know, this would be good, for an example. Because there is absolutely no way that enemies are gonna do this, and there is no way that enemies are gonna do this. This positioning and this angle would be amazing. Because we're only isolating one angle, close range angle, from which enemies can kill us. And we're playing on such an one and done off angle, where there is no way that a platinum, diamond, and gold player is gonna expect you right here. So, this would be good. This is terrible. Because you can die based on luck and timing. Like, whenever you're playing some kind of a position where you can die based on luck and timing, it's a bad position for you. And it is better for you to die in the process of repositioning rather than dying from behind. It's okay. As I said, like, I'm more glad that you died like this than if you died from that Reyna that was literally right behind you at that moment of time. But you should have realized, as soon as you got on this spot, that you're kind of fucked. I mean, enemies can kill you from 2 different positions, and you could have taken such a good off angle to kill this Cypher, and then later we can just isolate very good fights with the Vandal, Phantom, and kill the Reyna and Clove. A bit of a nonsense. But also what was a nonsense in this round is, you know, not clearing the backside, not planting the spike for the backside as well. Because we have a Stinger. With a Stinger you can quite literally stay here as well. And enemies are pushing you, we can just delete them on this range. But okay. We'll live, learn, adapt in the future. This round is yours, you should have won it.
Drop.
Now listen, as soon as you notice that enemies like to be hyper-aggressive and they like to push something, punish them. Full-on Punisher mode. Like right now, you can tell your teammates, hey guys, play a bit slower, I'm gonna get a kill on the Phoenix. Or Fade. And what we can do is like, we can simply hold some kind of an off angle like this, wait for the Fade to use a dog, Phoenix to push and get a kill. I guarantee to you, someone is gonna push here. Now, why do I think Phoenix is gonna push again? Because a lot of the Phoenix players in Diamond, Platinum, Gold, they have this fucked up idea where every round they need to farm the orbs for the ultimate. Even if it is dangerous. So, I think that's what this Phoenix is doing. And that is something that you can kinda expect from the Phoenix players. Like, they are quite greedy for the ultimate orbs, and you can easily punish them for that. You're 1 ultimate point away from the ultimate. You kill that Phoenix, you can just instantly reconnect with your teammates to push the B side. Phoenix doesn't push. Phoenix doesn't push. You pick up the orb yourself and just fake the A, and we can just go B. Okay. Listen, one more tip. Whenever you have teammates peeking the window, such as this Killjoy. So this window is identical to the window of Haven mid. Very dangerous peek. Very fucked up peek. Like, you see your teammates have the tendency to do this type of a peek. Always play with them and support that teammate. Always. You know? Like, you can just jump for the window and then go for a peek. Or you can just wait for your teammate to peek and you just be ready to swing out and take a fight with that teammate. I just have no idea why are we prioritizing B side against the Cypher when A side is literally free for us. Both A side split and A side push.
Haram. Stop. It's haram.
Smoke B main please, I wanna get
تعالى تعالى
Can I smoke B main?
ليه سكاي ليه المين
Cure qui. Cure esaurite.
Come, Jet, come.
I don't know, you know, in ranked solo queue of Valorant, like, how you decide to play early on is heavily dictated based on team compositions. Like, this team comp on a defender side of Pearl, I just don't know how are they gonna stop your executes on the A side. Even if the Cypher plays on A, like, it's still pretty hard. This paranoia that you did here, okay, I love that you're aware of this possibility, you know, it's okay. He wanted to support the Sky in the elbow in the fight, like, whatever. Like, I love that you're using paranoia in a three-dimensional way, and not just for yourself. Okay, so we know that Cypher is, we know that Cypher is B. We know that Clove is B. And we know that everyone is B this round. Let's go A. Run! Enemies can only be CT. Run, 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 run! Well, just don't play the spike here. Like, you know? And also, like, literally the best post, the best spike position is this one here. If you already have no idea how you're gonna play this post plant. Like, you see the spike from the right side, you see the spike from the main, like, you know, most of the times you'll be playing the post plant somewhere here. Anyways. I don't tuck it into the site. And if you already want to plant it somewhere here, plant it towards the site, so that your teammates that are peeking like this, you can still see the spike diffuser already here. Turn yourself around! Spike Piazzada. Okay, so from the previous rounds, we know that enemy Cypher and enemy Reyna like to rotate through the spawn. So right now, you have your own fights to fight. You cannot fight against this like Clove. You need to leave that fight to the Jet. Because Cypher and Reyna are 90% very close to you right now. And also this smoke that you did for the tower is kinda fucked up for a 2v3. You know, like, you practically have no information how much space enemies have taken here from you. A much better idea was to do some kind of a trial and smoke like this. Here. And now, you know, we can maybe support our Jet on mid. We can reposition. We can keep our location a secret. But doing a smoke on tower, where are you gonna go right now? That was mega giga dangerous. We just got lucky that enemy Cypher didn't even start rotating yet for some reason. Now in this 1v2s, like, keeping your location a secret is everything. And since the enemy Cypher has the ultimate, we are 99% certain that this Cypher is gonna use his ultimate for this body right here. So we need to kill that Cypher as he is using the ultimate. That's a great information that you have. You know, ultimate status of the enemies can tell you 99% of times what enemies will do next and what to expect from them. So we need to play more aggressively here and kill the Cypher. Very good. And now, guess what? We have the ultimate as well. You are in a 1v1. We have absolutely no idea where is the enemy Reyna. Absolutely no idea. Teleport. Use the ultimate. Now this is another, like, there's like 7, 8, 9 different usages of the Omen ultimate. This is one of them. You're 1v1. Spike is planted. This Reyna knows your location. Teleport into the A main area of the map. You clear the whole A main area of the map. Keep your location a secret. And now, just wait for the Reyna to tap the spike. She's probably gonna waste a lot of time searching for you. And we can just easily close out this round by jump spotting the Reyna, getting her off the spike, and just... You don't even need to fight Reyna. You just need to get her off the spike. Okay, now in this 1v1, good teleport, good reaction. I like it a lot. I like it a lot. Like, you're already showing the signs of improvement. Like, you're using your utility finally in a 3D, 4D way, and not only 2D development type of shit. So, W teleport in the chat. W teleport in the chat, bro. Okay, now, listen. When you end up in a 1v1 like this, and you have 1 TP, we need to play with this Reyna a bit. In your elo, fake shrouded steps work an enormous amount of time. Here, instead of waiting for this Reyna to engage us, like what you can simply do is something like this. Make the Reyna think that you teleported back into the smoke, swing out. 90% of times, an average gold, platinum, diamond player is gonna flick here. That's gonna give you the info. That's gonna give you the timing to peek out and get a kill. Okay, we can play like this as well. Not bad, not bad. I like it that you didn't force any fights, any stupid fights. This is very smart gameplay, very smart gameplay. Just in that third round, you were not that smart. You could have easily like won that third round, like if you just position better. Remember, like a bad position is a bad position. If you die in a bad position, there's nothing for me to coach you. I'm just gonna tell you that position is shit because you're overexposed. Muy bien, muy bien. Muy bien, muy bien, muy bien. Very good, very good.
Let's go.
Robo allarme.
So, we wanna go A in this round. You know everything what's happening in the Amen area of the map. Phoenix is usually playing in the Amen area of the map. Fade is dogging in the Amen area of the map. So what we need to do is do a slow push. Maybe enemies are gonna be the ones aggressing you. So what we can do is dodge the Fade dog, give the smokes for our teammates in mid, and then kill the enemies. But once again, like if you have two teammates splitting the A set through mid, you should play with your teammates in mid. Yeah. Always, like on any map in Valorant, like if you have two teammates on mid, always play with them. Like they will get the first contact like 90% of times, and 90% of times have a chance to die. Like just smoke this, be ready to support your teammates. Sometimes you can also maybe teleport here to basically surprise enemies with this type of a peek. Like if you do a teleport like this, as soon as the round starts, your teleport is quite inaudible. Like, most of the times enemies in the doors are not gonna hear it. And you can just surprise them with a peek and kill them. When you're clearing angles, you know, I have a feeling that you're clearing angles just for the sake of clearing them. You know, like, you're just clearing them because Charlatan told me to clear the angles with a jiggle pick and that's it. Clear the angles with the intention to take a fight. With a instant, like, pre-assumption that an enemy will be there. So when you clear the angles, like, you should be surprised that an enemy is on a common angle or an off angle. You should be ready for that fight, mentally and physically. I just feel that when you clear some of these positions, you're just scrolling your mouse through these angles just to see the enemy there. And to get information. Okay, fine, but be ready for a fight.
Phoenix low. Can you help, guys?
Affalò, affalò.
Sono Sentinel. Non me ne vado. 3 su 3.
Once again, you see enemies at the backside. You can maybe teleport up here, above you, and try to get a kill. You know, a lot of the players like to play hyper aggressively. A lot of the players like to play hyper aggressively at the backside and do various different peaks. You see the enemies at the backside, TP up here, be ready to send them out. Okay. We were a bit lucky. I thought he's gonna be open. I thought he teleported like much deeper. It's okay, it's okay. We live to fight another day. Get a kill. Oh, Phoenix used the ultimate.
Ho la spike a terra in...
I don't know how we didn't kill that Phoenix, to be honest, but yeah. Listen. Listen. Like, if you're already 18 HP, Phoenix is using the ultimate, enemies are running you down. Use the paranoia. Like, basically, I just don't understand, like, just try to avoid one thing in Valorant. Just try to avoid one thing in Valorant. Avoid saving your utility for the perfect moment of time. Whenever your abilities can save you, make you live to fight another day, make you take a safer fight, just fucking use them. Make you or your teammates survive. You need to use your paranoia for this, use it. You need to use 2 shrouded steps to escape, use it. You need to use your ultimate to get out of some shit, use it. A perfect moment of time to use your utility is when something bad happens to you. Or you take a bad fight. Or you can take a better fight. Period. I just don't understand, like, why we're not doing a 5-man executes at the start of the round when we have, like, Omen ultimate, smokes, paranoia, shrouded steps, neon, jet, and sky ultimate with a dog and flashes. In those type of rounds, 5-man push A, 5-man push A.
Yeah.
We go A again. Why? It is far more unpredictable. I can guarantee to you. I can guarantee to you that Eminem, enemies have 3 players right now on the B side. Minimum 3. And they're gonna be aggressing you from the elbow, peeking you from the elbow, killing you from the elbow, and from the bomb site. Relax a bit.
Okay, it's fine. We can. I will dash in and Cypher will die.
This is Platinum Lobby Damned. Brother, difference between a gold and Platinum is identical to bronze and silver. Non-existent.
1 second.
Wait a second, like I teleport here.
Once again, I don't know about these Stinger buys, and you know, it's still a pretty long range map. You know, if you can get a Bulldog and Light Shield, that is good. Sheriff Heavy Shield, Marshall Heavy Shield, like even Bandit. Bandit on this map is pretty good with Omen. You know, you can close the gap with the enemies and you fight both long range, medium range, and close range. I don't know. Like, you know, the only reason for you to buy a Stinger here is if you're gonna play hyper aggressively and you're gonna actually run down this Phoenix. But you play way too scared and way too slow.
And then do the blind.
Muoviamoci.
Nah, okay.
What's the difference between Bronze 1 and Bronze 2? Got demoted back to Bronze 1 after watching Joel's. What is Joel's doing? Is he still a predator on Twitter, on Instagram? Yeah, Joel's cosplaying for little girls. No, that guy is crazy, man. I respect the hustle. One day we're gonna transition. One day I'm gonna transition into transgender, and we open the OnlyFans. Hustle, bro. Hustle. Trust me. Like, that's Valorant community, bro. That's Valorant community. Like, trust me. We're gonna get like 10 times more views. 10 times more views. I buy some stockings, you know? High heels. Not to mention the Game Changers buff. Yeah, brother. Tier 1 immediately. Interesting decision making, not bad. to be honest. Like, not bad. I understand the idea. Like, to TP to avoid the contact and use paranoia and go in. But we first need to use the smokes. You need to use the smokes. You need to use the smokes! Smokes and then paranoia.
Bro, I
Behind,
think
behind,
fast.
behind.
I told you. A whole Nazi squad right now is playing on the B side. We were ready for this. You're way too predictable for the enemies. I'm telling you, like, sometimes even Platinum players do use their brain sometimes. Not often, but sometimes. You know. Actually, that can be applied to a lot of Valorant players. But, you see, they have 3 enemies right now on B. You're just way too predictable. Like, you lose a round, you go on the opposite side. Especially in these games where enemies have terrible team compositions, like, you can just follow basic rules and win most of the rounds. Like, simplify your gameplay, don't need to complicate stuff. We got Vendel now. Yes, sir, bro. Now, scaling up like this against Phoenix is pretty dangerous. But, I mean, we should just be ready for a flash and to dodge it with a flick. Is a tier 3 sub for a VOD review? Yes, you can also win it in a free giveaways. So, you have those 2 options for a live VOD review. Most of these rounds right now, most of the rounds, we lost on macro decisions. Like, it's not like just what you do. It's just how you are leading your whole team. You're not telling them at all where to go.
Sky.
How are you playing Stinger again, bro? Wait.
It's harder because I have to do like here.
Okay, it's fine. We can.
Listen, if 3 or more of your teammates are full buying, you always full buy with them. Always force with them. Like, there's no reason for you to save the money, because anyways, the next round you're gonna play eco if you lose it. So right now, here you should have bought a light shield, Vandal with utility. And that's it.
Here.
I mean, that wouldn't change anything. We still would have lost this round, but yeah.
Okay.
Also, can I ask, when are we gonna start punishing this Cypher? Cypher, for 6 rounds in a row on the B side, played one singular position. My guy is camping this spot like his life depends on it. When are we gonna start pre-firing this guy and getting him out of this position? It's such an easy kill and a free kill. Like, when you're playing in low elo lobbies, like, most of the times, you don't need to make a good play. You can just punish the enemy's mistakes, repetitiveness, and enemy's bad plays. But you just need to be more present in the game and ask yourself, you know, like, I gave you the map and game awareness training. You should be tracking down where the enemies are playing, what are they doing, and actively thinking in your matches, like, what's happening, not only around your team, but around the enemy team as well. In this round, you can quite literally get a Sheriff and Heavy Shield, while you're saving 4,900 credits. But also, to be honest, like, what I would do in this round, I would just play this round with a Sheriff. And I would not buy anything else. And in the next round, I would just get the Operator, Light Shield, and get this Cypher out of the server. You should have the confidence to do this type of play. That's why the weapon mastery and weapon versatility is so important in this video game. But yeah, we also have a Sky Dog, Sky Flashes that we're not using, so that's a bit criminal. But you know, you cannot really control what your random solo queue teammates are gonna do. So I'm mostly giving him solo solutions. What do you think about Valorant Mobile? I haven't seen it, haven't tried it, I don't know. I'm probably gonna play it on toilet quite a lot.
امك قال لك جو جو يا ابن الخول مفيش
Stop spitting on me, bro.
غير ابوك يا ابن المدناك.
It would be good if you tell your teammates Fade is always dogging the Amen area of the map. Hey guys, let's play here passively. Let's dodge the dog. And then let's scale up. And enemies have zero info what you're doing on the map. And we can surprise them and kill them. Information is everything.
اقف هولد يا كس امك. هولدنج وات يا ابن المدناكه.
Big with me, Omen!
He's kinda right there, you know. Once again,
هولد يا كس امك.
you know,
هولدنج.
especially when enemies drop you this type of a smoke. Like, you should always expect when you're playing around this type of smokes in Valorant that an enemy might do something like this. Always. And that one enemy is gonna play around this cover. Like, there's a lot of areas of the map and a lot of choke points where the smokes are gonna look like this. And you need to be ready for this possibility. Always. So if I'm clearing this area of the map, I'm expecting someone to play here, and I'm expecting someone to play here as well. The esports scene of Valorant Mobile is gonna be huge. I have no idea how to stream Valorant Mobile and how to coach in Valorant Mobile. How would that even look like? It is gonna be huge. I'm not gonna lie.
Big with me, Omen!
Pick with me, Omen. One bullet. Let's all pray to our little friend that's gonna die in a few seconds. How do I have any praying sounds, man? Any hallelujah? No? Yeah, we have this one. Ah. Oh! We reloaded, bro. As I already mentioned, you get onto A site of Breeze. Your main job is to clear the back site.
Hey, Omen, hey, Omen. Hey, Omen. كيف مسكين فندل.
You need to agile these teammates a bit more and tell them where to go and what to do. As I already mentioned during our coaching, like, you don't need to tell them, like, specifically what to do, just where to go. You know, what's the general plan? Because right now we have no plan at all. To be honest, if you're, you know, if you play this type of a game in ranked solo queue, fuck the team play. Fuck it. Like, right now you need to focus on finding some solo value, solo kills, and solo openings. We can easily kill the enemies in Amen. We can easily kill that Cypher on B site. We can also easily kill the enemies on mid as well. The map is yours. You have all of the information for the last 7 rounds. A lot of different solutions.
Start play default.
Scale up as fast as your most aggressive teammates are scaling up. So, Neon is running like this. Run it down with the Neon. You know, drop this spike. Drop this spike somewhere here. You know, towards the sky. So the enemies don't see it. Whatever. It really doesn't matter. Like, just drop it. And let's go. I'm doing a smoke. I'm already here. Taking this fight with the Reyna. I'm already here. Refragging the Killjoy. speed up a bit. Go, go, Power Rangers!
Phoenix is one shot.
I mean, this angle here, right now, is pretty useless in my opinion. Like, I literally don't see a usage of this angle and this teleport whatsoever. It's only good if you wanna surprise enemies in some secondary or third fights. You know, like, this example is actually not bad. You know, you take a fight from the doors, and then you teleport here. Yeah, you can take this fight or this fight or this fight. Maybe an enemy is below you, you can paranoid those enemies, then TP up and kill those motherfuckers, but other than that, I don't know. You know, you take a fight from here, you can maybe TP and wait to see if that enemy is gonna peek you. But otherwise, I don't know. It's a bit of a waste of a teleport. Is this painful to watch for you, Sean? No, I love VOD reviews. In this example, it was good. You know? In this example, it was a good teleport. And good position to play.
Come here, come here.
Okay, we know that Cypher is the B player. So now, as we're going onto the B site, we need to clear every fucking angle. Look behind you! Wait. So, you played 7 rounds. For 7 rounds, Cypher was the B player. We didn't see the Cypher. We didn't see the Cypher for a minute. Fuck the utility, clear the site. Fuck the spike plant, clear the site. You're planting the spike wide open from the B main area of the map. Use the smoke. Or, okay, listen here. So you use the smoke for the connector here. Plant the spike at the backside. Plant it here. And we can play from the CT, from the broken wall, from everywhere. You know, when you die like this, like, you cannot be like, oh, what a timing, oh, what a luck, what a this. Like, you're just way too overexposed, man. Like, you know that Cypher is somewhere here around the B main, B side, mid area of the map. We know that 2 enemies are top mid and mid. Like, you knew the city is cleared. Neon even cleared the full city for you. Take the cover, man. Overexposure is a huge problem for you on this map. I mean, generally, you know, Breeze is the map where aim matters a lot. How well do you abuse and use snipers matters a lot as well. Mechanical skill matters a lot as well. And positioning is crucial on this map. Like, you cannot be this overexposed in every situation that you play.
Omen is smoke.
Hey, don't say bad words. Haram. Hello.
Someone.
Inshallah wa ta'ala wa ta'ala.
You just saw a Phoenix in the aim and area of the map that can pop flash your teammates and send them to the grave. And you're using the smokes. Flash that Phoenix! Then use the smokes. Let's run him down.
Io me ne vado.
Okay, when it comes to you using Bandit, listen, there is no spamming with a Bandit. Like, Bandit is practically a sheriff, you know. With Ghost, you can get away with a lot of shit. With a lot of spam shots, like, Bandit is closer to sheriff than to the Ghost, for an example. So when you're shooting with a Bandit, you kind of want to implement similar techniques to Ghost, but Sheriff as well. So what am I trying to say? So you want to take a fight with a Bandit. Like, you never spam. The second.
30 seconds left.
You never spam more than 2 shots with a Bandit. So basically, you go for 2 shots, move. 2 shots, move. Let the recoil settle a bit. You know, let the bullet spread settle a bit. Like, the 3rd shot of the Bandit is already a bit of a gamble. So don't spray like a maniac. Like, 2-3 shots, reset yourself. Move a bit. Be a bit more mobile target.
Bit
7. On your right here.
on
Anyways, on this range, if you just hit one head and one body, this Fade is dead. Slow down a bit. And when it comes to your gunplay and mechanics, the main thing that's fucking you up is, like, you're rushing your shots way too much. Take your time, you know? Like, all of these fights that you have taken, they lasted for an eternity. Like, every fight was like minimum 2 seconds long. 1.5, 2 seconds long. That is plenty enough to place the crosshair on the enemy head and kill them. Slow down a bit. Prioritize precision over the speed.
Occhio alle
What was the plan in this round?
Devo andare.
Okay, so you have no plan at all. 2 of your teammates are starting mid. Enemies are always fighting from the doors. Start mid. Fight at the doors. Kill the enemies at the doors. Simple as that. Let's all pray for the Neon and Jet.
Librati.
Huh, we almost pre-fired that angle. Almost. This time there was no Cypher but a Phoenix. So, not bad, not bad. You're getting aware. That's good, that's good.
Phoenix Cypher B.
It's kind of sad that in 9 rounds we realized in the round number 10 that is like the main angle that enemies use to fight on the B side, but okay. Listen, if there's no plan whatsoever, fight with your teammates on mid. You know, your Killjoy is already playing passively, keeping the B-man control. Enemies can easily push their A-man as well and fuck us up. Like, there's no job or business for you right now on the B set and B-man area of the map. Just take the mid control and then we can decide. Maybe we can get a few kills there, a few picks, reset the round, and then go somewhere. Like this kill for an example. And this kill for an example. So now we know that Fade is probably A, Phoenix is B, and Reyna is top mid. Whatever you decide to do, it's fine. We can just reset the round towards A, towards B, it really doesn't matter.
Andiamo a caccia.
Hill. Sky.
Can somebody translate?
Hill.
Io me ne vado. Venite a guarirvi. Spike a terra.
You're trying to aim with your movement way too much, brother. Like, way too much. We're gonna have a talk privately after this VOD review.
Io me ne vado. Venite a guarirvi.
And once again, like, when you're taking this type of fights with the enemies, pay attention to your teammates as well. I mean, if your teammates don't want to scale out and fight with you, you can relax a bit. We have a 5v3 numbers advantage anyways, and 1 minute to plant the spike. We can chill, wait for your teammates to decide what they want to do. With the shrouded steps, you can reset yourselves towards the elbow and play with them. You don't need to be the first contact, especially not now when we got 2 free kills. I don't know what is your fetish with the Stinger on this map, but not really the best map for the Stinger, unless you want to play hyper aggressively, which you never did.
Spike.
You never use the smokes from this position. You always need to get closer to the B main area of the map.
La caccia inizio.
I don't know why you're even peeking into the B main area of the map right now. Like, listen, whenever your teammates are playing passive, so our initial idea was to go B, for an example. So our initial idea was to go B, and your teammates don't want to go B. They decide to mainly focus on the mid area of the map and the elbow. Just play with your teammates in elbow. Once you take the mid control completely, and the top mid as well, it is super easy splitting the B side and just taking the B side control. Like, you don't need to force these type of fights, but also, like, economy management is really disgusting in this match, I'm not gonna lie. Like, here for an example, your teammates have money to drop you. Ask for the drop. Oh, but I pressed this request button. I don't care. Ask for the drop. These players, like, they're just fully autopiloting. They don't know which video game they're playing. You need to ask them to drop you the weapon in the game. Hey guys, can you drop me a Vandal? Then once again, hey guys, can you please drop me a Vandal? Hey guys, can you... Motherfuckers, can you drop me a Vandal? Thank you very much. Your money is your team's money. Your team's money is your money. Done. Now, your teammates don't want to drop you. Okay. Why do you buy a Stinger? Get a Light Shield and get a Vandal. I don't know, how do we play like 4 rounds out of 11 with a Stinger on Breeze?
Spike.
And I don't know what you're, who are you searching for here with the Stinger? Like, I know that you jump spotted the angle, but I don't know what type of fight you wanted to take here. Like, anyways, because there's no fights to take. We need to wait for the execute and then go in. And I'm telling you, at the end of the day, like, if team play is not possible, search for some solo solutions. A really good solo solution in this match was to lurk through the aim and area of the map. Why? Number one, a lot of times enemies were aggressive and we can get a kill. Number two, as soon as we make a contact in mid and B, enemies fully rotate from the aim and A site and they leave the A set open. Like, these are the matches and these are the rounds where playing alone is actually worth it, and when it is good. Because what's the point here playing with a team if you're just gonna spend 30 seconds in the B main, 30 seconds in the elbow, then another 30 seconds in mid, and we're gonna have like 15 seconds to plant the spike. Fuck it, if team play is not possible, like, search for some solo opportunities. Once again, you should get a Light Shield with a Vandal. If your teammates don't want to drop you. Let's pray for a normal execute. You should have done a different smoke.
Push the side of the house.
Take the elbow, take the elbow. Very good, very good. Take the backside. Okay, Jet took the backside. Now we can plant the spike. Now we play with our most aggressive teammate, which is Jet. Okay. Now we have Paranoia to fuck up that Phoenix. Now we have Paranoia to fuck up that Cypher. Okay, you know. I mean, if you're gonna flash your teammates and the enemies and get a kill, it's fine. It's fine. Okay, you see, like, this was such a simple round when we actually did some kind of an execute. Like, I really don't understand, like, why don't you persuade your teammates a bit more? I mean, who would be, like, against 5-man executes? I don't know. Like, literally, just run it down. You're playing a controller role, the most important role anyways. You're playing Omen, you can play aggressively, passively, do this, do that. Like, every bad shit that your teammates do during the execute, you can correct in some kind of a way. In these low elo lobbies. So, I don't know why we overcomplicated this attacker side of Breeze so much. And I'm a bit afraid to see what's gonna happen on the defender side. Because Breeze is still a bit harder to be played on defense, I'm not gonna lie. Even with all of the changes, yes, you know, the power levels are a bit equal now. It's, you know, previous Breeze was hell on a defender side. Hell. With the tube and everything. But, even with the new changes, like, it's, I don't know, I would say, like, 60-40 in the favor of attacker side players. But, yeah, we'll see in the second half. Now, we have a defender side of new Breezeroni. Everything is pretty much the same as on the old Breeze, you know, when they close the tube. So, practically, this is how the story goes for Breeze on defender side. Like, on defender side, Breeze is a slow rotation map. So basically, in the first 4 rounds, you should be doing fast rotations, meaning that you know, on the first contact between your team and the enemy team, you need to make some kind of a move, either take more space or rotate to help your teammates out, etc. But from the round number 5, like, you need to base your rotation based on information that you gather from the previous rounds. You know, like, if enemies like to lurk, flank, default, you cannot be leaving your positions immediately. We need to anchor a bit more, fight for more space, and think hard. You know, think hard if you wanna get out from a site or certain position. Now, on Breeze, your default site, number 1 priority, B site. Number 2 priority, A site. And number 3 priority, mid area of the map. But, you know, most of the rounds, when you have no idea where the enemies are gonna go, like, are they gonna go A? Are they gonna go B? You wanna start somewhere around mid. You know, like, top mid, doors, and playing a bit of a faster rotations between A site, B site, and mid area of the map. What's really important on this map is that you really cannot give enemies free space. You know, like, basically, the worst thing you can do is, like, leave all of this open and just play fully passively. Especially with a new redesigned Breeze, it is so easy to take the A main control, to take the B main control as well, to take the mid control, to aggress the enemies in the elbow, to aggress the enemies at the bottom mid. Like, you need to play semi-aggressive on this map. Like, in the first 4 rounds, you can play a bit more passively, but later, you know, if enemies have good executes, a lot of utility to execute the sites, they are splitting you apart, you need to fight for some space and some area of the map. Now, in the first round of Breeze, I would always recommend to you that you simply start in the B link right here. And essentially, you're just playing fast rotations between A site and B site. And what you can also do is just take some kind of an aggression into the elbow. So, first of all, with Omen in the first round on Breeze, on a defender side, just get a Ghost, 2 smokes and 1 Shrouded Step. And if enemies are going A, your teammates on A get a contact, simply start walking down mid immediately as you do the smoke. As you do the smoke for the aim and area of the map, clear the bottom mid and just, support your teammates. Now, if enemies are going mid, for an example, like you can drop this one-way smoke, if they are not smoking in this position, and completely cuck them and stop their push. If enemies are going mid towards the A, just give your teammates this type of a smoke, and once again, play a bit more semi-aggressively, Walk down, try to get into the enemy smoke, try to pick some kind of a timing to backstab the enemies and to support your teammates as soon as possible. If enemies are going B, we can simply drop a regular smoke, maybe teleport on top of this position, and play an off angle to basically kill the enemies over the smokes, and that's it. Then after that you can simply do a second smoke to maybe reposition into the site and try to support your teammates that are on the bomb site. What you can also do in the first round, if you think enemies are going B or enemies are defaulting, as I said, you can do a small aggression into the elbow and risk it a bit more in the first round. Why? This map is still a map where, information is very important. Like, taking space from the enemy team is very important. Lurking and flanking and taking the space is very important. That's it, essentially. So, yeah, now, when it comes to the first round, the only thing I would not recommend to you is starting on the A site. Like, it's too much of a gamble. B site is still much harder to be retaked than A site with a new map redesign. And playing A site retakes is a piece of cake. Like, there's not that many angles where the enemies can play, what enemies can do. Like, it all boils down to simple fights. But on B site, you can, they can still play in the window, in the B main area of the map, at the back side, in the elbow, on the bomb site. They have so many different angles, off angles, timings that they can pick to kill you. They can easily aggress you at the broken wall, right here. And just, you have another annoying angle that you have to deal with. So, overall, this gamble to play B in the first round is not something I would recommend to you ever. It doesn't matter which agent you're playing at that moment of time. So yeah, let's see what our friend is gonna do and how this is gonna pan out. You want a gamble? Sure. Let's gamble. Do they win the first round? Now, when it comes to my Breeze playbook on my Discord server, I would say that 70% of tips are still applicable. Like, there's not that much that changed on this map in terms of fundamentally how you should play the map. It is just easier to be played, a bit more claustrophobic. You can, on the defender side, you can easily abuse the weapons such as Stinger, Spectre, Judge, Bucky, Shorty, to get some free kills. But this is still the map where you really want to try pulling out the operator out of your anal cavity as soon as possible. Like, there's still so many good off angles and positions where you can just punish the enemies. And especially if enemies have some kind of a trash team composition that doesn't have a lot of recon abilities. Like Fate, for an example, only has the eye to reveal you. So it has a drone and a recon dart, which is much better than just one eye on Breeze. You can easily abuse the operator. Now, when it comes to the team comps here, to be honest, like, on a defender side, your team comp is okay. Killjoy is fine on a defender side of Breeze. Like, she can still hold the B site, A site, do utility for the flanks and lurks. Like, not bad. Omen on the defender side is totally fine, with the new choke points and the one-way smokes that we can use. Sky, Neon, Jet, just a regular type of shit. When it comes to the enemy team comp, the problem that they have is they don't have a dive duelist. So against this type of a team composition, you really don't want to give the enemies any moment of time to breathe. Like, you can easily stab them and fuck them up in the choke points. With this team composition, enemies will have to default a lot, lurk a lot, flank a lot, and fake a lot if they want to have a chance of winning the rounds. So, against this team comp, we need to get some deeper angles into the B main, A main, elbow, mid, and try to just always have the info of what the enemies are doing, close the choke points, and that's it. You know, playing passively against this team comp is, you know, is absolutely stupid, in my opinion. Of course, you know, you shouldn't be dying in the B main and A main and mid, like just trying to always contain the information and try to punish them with some early aggression. Also, one good thing on New Breeze, you know, this boxy box here is pretty good boxy box to basically play as an off angle early on when the round starts. Like, for example, if you start in the window and you do this, you can be faster than the enemies, essentially, and take this as an off angle as well, in the first round as well, if the enemies are going mid. Because if enemies smoke you off on mid here, you can still see above the smoke and still punish them and kill them. And I highly doubt that Platinum, Gold, and Diamond players are gonna respect this type of a play. So yeah, let's see just what you're gonna do. Like, I mean, you're starting on A site, which is a bit of a gamble. I'm not gonna lie, huge gamble. Classic pistol in a first round. I don't know. I mean, with 2 shrouded steps and 2 smokes, you should be able to close the gap with the enemies and kill them. But you know, it's still a pretty big map, so God knows what type of fights we're gonna take. Classic shorty. Listen, classic shorty on Breeze. I don't know about that one, to be honest. I mean, you can maybe try playing a classic ghost strategy. Shorty ghost strategy, where you basically, you know, drop the ghost here, and then if enemies are pushing A, we can do this type of a cubby position smoke to basically wrap the enemies, outmaneuver them, and kill them as they're moving in. But classic shorty, I don't know. By the way, if you're ever playing some classic shorty strategy, you always buy 2 smokes, 1 paranoia, and 1 shrouded step only. Paranoia is a bit better than 1 more shrouded step, you know. And if you already want to play classic shorty, you should not be starting towards the left side. You know, we want to use this type of a cubby position smoke here to dodge the enemy's random span, to dodge the utility, and then fuck up the enemies as they're moving in. Here it's a bit of a risk, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, you can do this type of a smoke, but it's kind of fucked up, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, listen. You cannot be... you cannot shuffle your weapons 10 times. You know, okay. So you want to play shorty there and a classic pistol. Or here, whatever. Like, just as soon as the round starts, jump and drop the classic. And that's it. Like, you don't have to shuffle weapons 20 times. You can also do it just 1 time. Just jump, drop, jump. I mean, jump, drop, and run. And then walk with the shorty in. Also, make sure that the classic is not visible to the enemies. I mean, I highly doubt that a platinum and gold player is gonna understand what this classic means on the ground right now, but you really don't want classic to be visible. Very good timing. Very good timing to go in. Just, we're way too slow, man. Way too slow to shoot and way too slow, like, to kill these guys. Like, basically, first of all, I don't know why did you lock onto Reyna when Phoenix is closer to you. And second of all, I don't know why you stopped like this. You know, like here, what you should have done. Okay, smoke was fine. Timing was fine. It's just this. Just run them down, you know. You hear enemies moving into the smoke. Jump on them. Close the gap with them. And kill them. So, this is how the play should look like. You're always curving yourself and jumping yourself towards the enemies when you're engaging the enemies with shotguns. And you're just waiting for the first footstep instead of the smoke. That's a free kill. Potentially 2 free kills. Yep. Now in a second eco round on Breeze, I would simply recommend to you that you start at around A doors. A lot of the teams in this, you know, in this second anti-eco round are gonna push mid or push like aim in area of the map. So it's a good gamble. And in this round, once again, you can do some kind of a classic shorty strategy here. You can do some classic shorty strategy in the like mid area of the map with this type of a smoke. You can also get a bandit. You know, bandit right now is really good for these eco rounds, and we can just, you know, close the gap with the enemies a bit. And if the enemies are, let's say, coming through mid, we can maybe do some improvised smoke like this, and now close the gap with the enemies and get a few free picks and map control. Also, yeah, those are the only, you know, 2 viable options in terms of economy. But if you want to buy something more, you can go for a Marshal without anything. You can go for a Sheriff as well. It's really up to you. I just think Bandit is really good for these eco rounds.
Torretta piazzata. Piazzo una granata.
Listen, whenever you do this type of one-way smoke, remember that enemies can be really, really fast on this type of a peak. So, look at the minimap. Your barrier is here. Enemy barrier is here. Like, the time that you need to do this is almost identical to the time that the enemies need to do this, for an example. So if you walk up to the choke point, you should always expect an enemy to be on the right side. Always. If you walk up. So, you did that. You did that. So they didn't win our first round, just a second. Choose the outcome. Did they win the first round? No. The next prediction is gonna be kills. How many? How many kills at the end? 15-11. Start. What the fuck did I just do? Sorry, chat. My brain is at 3% today. 3%. $15 and $14. So, You did this smoke. Good. By the way, when you're dropping this one-way smoke in the aim area of the map, always drop it right here. Top right side. Like this. Bam. Just so that, you know, one-way extends a bit more to the right. And make sure that a one-way is a bit higher so that you can see the enemy's feet down here. But also what you can do with this one-way smoke, you can create the sneaky beaky smoke that we talked about on Bind and other maps. Like you can put this one-way smoke a bit lower and then try to walk into the smoke, into this circle, and then pop onto the enemies as they're running you down. Like this, for an example. Like, that's perfect, to be honest. Like, just from this position, all the way down. All the way down. And yeah, you have this circle to wrap the enemies. Okay. Just in the future, you know, if you wanna peek the enemies in the aiming area of the map, and you're going for a slow peek, you should always expect the enemies on the right side. Always. They have a better timing than you if you walk. Okay, so 2 times in a row, enemies pushed A site. In this third round, we should apply the rule of 3 executes, which means that chances are much higher that in the next round, enemies are gonna go B.
Yeah, teasy, yeah.
Now, listen. This can never be your first position on the B set of Breeze, on the A set of Breeze. Especially if you have teammates that are looking mega aggressive at the start of the round. If you have 2 teammates with this type of a body posture, such as Neon and Sky, they're probably gonna fight aggressively for the aim and area of the map, and you need to help them, and you need to support them. You know, we can take, you know, with 3 teammates, we can take the full aim and control. Like, basically you can start here, drop a deep smoke, drop a paranoia, and okay, you know, let's take the full aim and control with our teammates. Also, this type of a play, you can do even alone, especially in some eco and halberd rounds, where you maybe want to get a shotgun, or you have a classic pistol, or short T, Judge, Bucky, Stinger, Spectre, and you think enemies are gonna go A. In your elo, this is gonna work 10 out of 10 times, and 10 out of 10 times you're probably gonna get some kind of a kill or deny the enemy's map control.
Teasy, Yahmar.
This position here can only be your secondary or third position. And also, it's kind of stupid wasting a shrouded step like this. You know, you instantly position yourself on this elevated spot, and I don't even know what the fuck enemies are gonna do.
Hey, Kifak. Kuss ammo.
You should have played with a Neon. I mean, we knew at the start what Neon is gonna do. Remember, chat, like, your decision making doesn't only depend on what you wanna do and what enemies are doing. It heavily depends on what your random solo queue teammates also wanna do. If your Neon wanna play this aggressively with a Bucky, you better be ready to support her. But I'm like, I don't know, I'm 80% certain that in this round enemies are gonna go either mid or B. Anyways, like, whenever enemies are eco, halberd, or bonus on the attacker side of Bind, you can expect some kind of a B hit through the elbow and through the B main area of the map. It's just that, you know, the general tendency of random solo queue players. Yahya, what's man?
Basta scherzare! Ora muori!
Wait, little brother. Chill a bit. Relax. Like this smoke that you just did. The first smoke was fine. You know, basically, it could have been better. It could have been better. Like a default smoke to stop the aim and push looks like this. It should be deep towards the enemies, and it should allow you and your teammates to have a chance to do something like this. But default smoke in the beam area of the map, you know, when you want to stop the enemy's push, looks like this. Like that. We want to deny the space from the enemies and push them a bit further. This is the retake smoke, and this is the smoke to basically play around with the shotguns and close range weapons like a cubby position smoke. This smoke here is a smoke for the enemy team. I mean, your jet is anyways stuck at the elbow. You know, there's nobody here. You don't want to do this smoke because then you give more cover to the enemies that are going through the link to easily scale out into the bomb site and to F up your teammates. If you already wanted to do some kind of a smoke here, maybe you can do something like this, so that when your teammates are going out through the CT, they only have to isolate a few angles, one at a time, and maybe they can pick some timings to surprise the enemies, get at the elbow, and that's it. But dropping this type of smoke, like, you're just helping enemy team. Especially if the enemies are splitting the site through mid and B main. So far we are 2 out of 3. You know, like, it's very easy to read the player's tendencies based on these 7 rules that I was teaching you throughout the coaching, and you need to pay more attention on that. And economy can tell you, like, 60 to 70% of times what the enemies are gonna do next. My guy literally extended the clove smoke. I respect the play. I respect the play. Not bad. Not bad. Solid. What language is that? Oh, mi amori. Mamma mia language. Mamma mia language. Now, you know, this is the first full-buy round for both you and the enemy team. And once again, as I already mentioned, we should disallow this team composition to execute the bomb sites. They should not even be able to, like, you should make the living hell for them just to get close to the choke points. They have nothing. They have like 2 fade dogs, fade reveal, no dash abilities, no close gap tools, like no paranoia, no real recon abilities. Like, fuck it. You know, let's... Neon, you wanna fight Omen? Let's fight it. Drop instant smoke here. Drop a paranoia. Let's take the Omen area of the map with the Neon. Now we have this map control. We can leave the Neon to guard the Omen while we fight for the mid and we fight for the elbow and B side. I would argue that on the new Breeze, like, what's probably gonna be a meta in ranked in a few months from now, is just fully locking down the Omen area of the map, and that's it. You lock down Omen completely, and then you just put the whole team towards the mid and towards the B side, because mid is the real problem on this map. Like, you know, guarding the elbow is still risky. Like, taking the mid control on both attack and defense is equal. Mid is the main point that you should be fighting for later. As already mentioned, this cannot be your starting position. This can be your secondary position, third position, when we get the info about the enemies and where, you know, where the enemies are going. Now your first position can be, you know, some angle like this, for an example. Your first position can be some angle like this. You can maybe jump spot the enemies in the Omen to get early information, and then we can fuck up the enemies with a paranoia, shrouded steps, and various different setups. This can be like your secondary position, for an example, later, or the first position. This can be your third position to fuck up the enemies from the backside, and this can be your third or fourth position to fuck up the enemies as they are moving into the site. But this position and this position should never be your starting positions.
La caccia inizio.
It's A.
Now listen, whenever you're playing any elevated position, always play towards the edge that leads into safety. So if you're playing this yellow box right here, play the bottom left side and hold this angle here. You go for one bullet, one burst fire, reset yourself. Now we can reposition here. And from this position, take another kill. Drop down, smoke, fight with a neon. Enemies are coming into the bomb site. We can flash the enemies on the left side, peek together with a neon, take a few more kills. That's how your repositioning and positioning should look like on Breeze.
Piazzo la Sentinel. Piazzo un robo allarme. Piazzo...
It was a bit risky doing that teleport, you know, now, because enemies already scaled out through the choke point and they can actually see you, but we made it.
Piazzo la Sentinel. Piazzo un robo allarme. Piazzo una granata. Spike a terra in atto.
كل شوية يبدل من
Once again, like, one thing that I don't understand in your gameplay is why do you consistently avoid fighting with your team? Like, you're way too tunnel visioned on your own ideas of what you wanna do that you completely forget about the refray game, team play, and that type of basic stuff. Like, do they stink? Killjoy Neon, probably, you know, like, I don't know when is the last time they washed their pussies, but brother, you need to play with them. Like, anyways, you know, enemies are pushing A site. If we keep the backside control against this team composition that doesn't have a single stun, single utility to fuck you up, like, I mean, they have a Phoenix Molotov, but whatever, you know, the Phoenix Molotov is not that big anyways. You have two teammates at the backside. Play with them. We have Killjoy turret. We have a Killjoy turret for the right side that is giving us info if the enemies are going right. We have a Killjoy alarm bot in the middle of the bomb site giving us the info if an enemy is maybe inside of this smoke. Just fight left to right. Fight with a neon, fight with a Killjoy, like, we're 3 versus 4, plus we have a paranoia to completely obliterate the enemies as they're getting out from this smoke.
Spike a terra in atto.
Like both Killjoy and Neon died for nothing.
كل شوية يبدل من
And you could have controlled at least one of these fights.
هناك يا خوال يا معرس.
Nemico ucciso. Ripetiamo.
But the most criminal, like, part of this gameplay is how passively we play on Breeze. Like on Breeze, as I already mentioned, you need to play semi-aggressively. We need to be fighting for mid, for elbow, for A main, or at least applying some pressure. You know, you want to make the enemies waste 50% of their utility just to take the A main and mid control. So they have less utility to scale out onto bombs. And then to potentially get maybe, you know, 1-2 kills. Fast rotation. We now go B. By the way, I already mentioned this. So, it was okay for you to play on the A site in that last round because of AB pattern. But generally speaking, like, so far in the match, in this round specifically, I don't really know where the enemies are gonna go. I don't know what enemies are gonna do. So a really safe bet in this round is to simply start top mid. You start top mid. You can play B, you can play A. Like, you can rotate so fast to support your teammates left and right. And in the same time, you know, when you start top mid, you can maybe search for some timings to fuck up the enemies in the elbow, to fuck up the enemies from the bottom mid and kill them here. Or to maybe go for some lurks and flanks behind the enemies. Like, and when it comes to some early smokes, like, if your whole team is playing passively, one smoke that you can keep as a default smoke is maybe a bottom mid smoke, like this. Or you can do a one-way smoke for your teammates in Omen so that, you know, enemies feel a bit more pressure, then you give your teammates an easier chance of taking the Omen space. I don't know what you're doing here. Go. Like, right now, what you should be doing is picking up this orb, getting the ultimate, and rotating with the ultimate onto the B set to support your jet. That's it. Jet is fighting a literal war.
Spike piazzata.
Like, enemies started the execute on the B site 15 seconds ago. And in those 15 seconds, we moved for 20 meters.
Spike piazzata. Ultimo giocatore rimasto.
You know, this was a very bad starting position on Breeze, and also a very bad rotation, very slow rotation, like very slow reaction from you. You know, the only thing that we know about the enemies from the first 4 rounds is what? They like to play together as 5. When they're pushing A side, they just push together as 5. When they push B, they like to split through the beam and elbow. If I already see a Phoenix inside of the choke point, right here, a run forest, I pick up that orb from the Omen with your Killjoy, and just rotate, bro. Help your teammates out. My jet was alive for 15 seconds. Becca, welcome to man. Why do you play A side so many times, man? Okay, in this round, I think enemies are gonna go A. You know, basically in the last 3 rounds, like, enemies went B, A, so yes, chances are very high. Enemies are gonna go A in this round. But please, let's start a bit more aggressively, bro. You're playing Omen, you have a Paranoia, you have a 2 smokes, Shrouded Steps, Neon has a stun, run, wall. Let's lock them down. Stop them completely. Like this choke point here now works in a favor of a defender side players a lot. Like, literally, it is like the first breeze. I don't know who the fuck made the first breeze, to be honest. Like, the first breeze was terrible. Like, literally, you had that fucking big cave with 2 different choke points. Like, that was insanity. This, you can take aim and control in every round with 2 abilities.
Codardi, fuggite.
Devo andare.
And as I already said, like you don't have to always do this type of a setup where you do a one-way smoke and then peek out. You can also do a deeper smoke, paranoia, and take the full B main area of the map. Especially if you have one teammate to fight together with you. And especially if you want to use a paranoia like this. Okay, now once again we saw two enemies B. TP instantly onto the B site.
Devo andare.
Or rotate faster with your neon through mid. Why are you rotating through spawn right now? I mean, on any map in Valorant, you play Corrode. Your teammate rotates from A short to top mid towards B. Are you gonna go through? Are you gonna go through like CT onto B site, or are you gonna go through mid towards the B site? There's no difference here as well. Just follow this neon. Anyways, neon can still die. You know, like every time when the enemies were pushing B, enemies always had somebody mid and elbow. Let's clear the mid and elbow. We have a lot of map control, a lot of information. And then let's decide what to do next. Also, we can maybe go for some kind of a double flank and double lurk here with the neon. That's not a bad idea. To pinch the enemies and fuck them up.
Spike a terra in B.
Cypher mid.
Qui. Nemico avvistato in B.
So esattamente dove siete.
Listen. Here, we know that two enemies are on the B site. We know that two enemies are on the B site. We have a stinger only. Your job is to close the gap with the enemies as soon as possible. If you already decide to play a stinger. So here, you're moving to the mid area of the map. Both of the enemies are on the site. We saw them on the minimap. Your next step is doing this. Even though you're getting revealed by the Cypher ultimate, we need to get onto this position. So that we can gather the info at the elbow. And so that we can take all of these fights with a stinger. Also, you still have a paranoia, which is really fucking good. So even if the enemies are in the elbow, like we see them here, we can drop a paranoia to scale out towards them and to run them down with a stinger.
So esattamente dove siete.
Right now, you should be teleporting backside. Also, you know, another thing that players kind of completely forget about when they're playing Valorant is the sound cue informations. Brother, one enemy is planting the spike. One enemy is reloading a gun. Both enemies are useless. I mean, you have a timing to do something. To take space. To close the gap. To get on a better position to fight the enemies.
Spike piazzata.
Now, I don't really fuck with this smoke. I'm not gonna lie. Like, the thing is, even though you're playing with a stinger, two of your teammates are playing with long-range weapons, and we're still playing a 3v2. You know, refrag numbers advantage scenario. Like, a much better idea here was just to maybe drop a smoke for the elbow, a one-way smoke, right here. And run down the Phoenix with a stinger. And then we know that the remaining enemy is stuck in the elbow. I mean, we know based on sound that Cypher was here and Phoenix was here as well. Now I have no idea where they are because we lost that information because of this smoke.
Là.
Like when you're playing controllers, like you need to be mega careful where to use your utility when you have numbers advantage. Like most of the times you just want to use your smokes as a one-ways to deny enemies space, as a default smokes to just push the enemies back, or smoke the spike and that's it. Also, this peek here was criminal. I mean, like, you know that enemy Phoenix is healing instead of this like Molotov. You know that enemy Phoenix is right here. Drop a paranoia, man. God gave you paranoia to do this and take a free kill. Do it. So, the crucial mistake that you made during this retake is number one, not closing the gap with the enemies at the moment of time when you had a chance to do that. You know that two enemies are on the site, you have a stinger, get on a better position. Anyways, when you're playing the retakes of the B site on Breeze, one of your main priorities should be clearing the back site and then focusing on everything else. Clearing this position, these positions, and then everything else. As we are doing this. Number two mistake. This smoke just allowed the enemies to do whatever the fuck they want. It allowed them to freely reposition from this spot into the B main, into this cover, to stay at the back side, or to go towards the elbow. Like, you never want to do these type of smokes when you have a numbers advantage. Ever. And even if you have a close range weapon, yes, you still have shrouded steps. You still have enormous amount of safe positions where you can teleport. You know, like, from this spot, you can easily TP towards the elbow and just take more space for your team and apply the pressure. From this position, you can freely teleport into this spot if you know that nobody's in that corner. And then from this spot, we can aggress the enemies and fuck them up. You complicated this round so much. Like, so much. Why don't you make content like you used to make before? I mean, you were making more videos before. Because of my coaching, man. Like, basically in the last year and a half, like, I was literally just, like, my only focus was coaching. Literally coaching. On average per day, like, I'm spending, like, 7 to 8 hours doing private coaching. Like, responding to messages, doing VOD reviews, private coaching, etc, etc. I just don't have time. Even with the editor, it's hard. Like, he edits a video, but I still need to make a voiceover, make a concept, make a thumbnail, make a title, do this, do that. Like, it takes so much time. Can you make a video on minimap? Like, it's underrated topic. We can. Michael Johnson. Yeah, sure, ask me. Stinger Fetish is waking up again. I mean, Stinger on a defender side of Breeze is, like, fine. You know, it's okay, bro. Like, Stinger is not bad. Just, when you're playing an agent such as Omen, your number one priority should always be closing the gap with the enemies when you get an opportunity to do that. And that is the only opportunity that you're searching for. When did you go to Turkey to make that hair? And how much did you pay for transplant? Brother. This hairline. Maybelline was calling me to promote their shampoos, bro. You know, they were offering $1 million for one commercial. I said no. I'm not for sale. You know? Let it zoomed, okay? Harmy bro, I'm always here. Aman, listen. So what I'm gonna do really soon, once we start grinding Valorant again and other video games, I'm gonna be paying people to do the clips on streams. Because I just don't have time and like to... I just don't have fucking time to make the shorts and videos as well. So I'm probably gonna be paying like others to do that for me. Are you playing today? Maybe later. Maybe a few games. Okay, brother. You know, you have 3,050 credits. We're playing Breeze. Get a Bulldog and Heavy Shield. Get a Light Shield and Guardian. You know? If you already have no idea where the enemies are gonna go, what are they gonna do? Get some better weapon than a fucking Spectre. Anyways, buying a Spectre in any round that is not a second anti-eco round is just a waste of money. Stinger is just far better option. Like here, for example, in this round, we are 90% certain that enemies will go A. 90%, because of rule of 3 executes that they followed in the first 2 rounds. So, in this round, we can also gamble a bit more. We can literally get a Judge, Heavy Shield, and a Bandit, or Sheriff from one of your teammates, and you have a weapon for every range and every single gunfight. And we can close the aim and area of the map forever. What about Arc Raiders? I don't know, like... I mean, I'm playing Arc Raiders every day, off stream for around 3 hours. 2 hours, I don't know. But I don't know if that would be fun for you to watch. To be honest, like, my lobbies are full on PvP. Like, literally, like, we're just fucking fighting. That's how I'm getting my loot. I'm just fighting 24/7. But I don't know. Elechim, brother. Listen here, brother. Elechim, brother. We talked about 7 rules that you should use to read the enemies on a defender's side in ranked solo queue. Why are you not implementing those rules in your gameplay? That's a rhetorical question, but you can answer it later as well. Do you think it's possible to reach Ascendant as a Sage main? But you can reach Ascendant without both arms, both legs, frontal lobe fracture, and one eye can be deficient. You need to start thinking harder with your early positioning. Like, you know, first round of Breeze, top mid. If enemies are playing an anti-eco round, doors A. Enemies are playing a bonus eco halberd round, top mid or B. Then 2 times in a row, enemies push one site, rule of 3 executes. Enemies start going A, B, A, B, A, B, A, B, it is. Enemies have some big ultimates. It's probably gonna be the A site on this map. So yeah. Listen, whenever you get tagged by the Fate's ultimate, TP away. Because you disconnect yourself from this tether with a teleport, and the dogs are not gonna be hunting you. This paranoia and over-aggression was absolutely pointless because we have absolutely no idea how many enemies are engaging us here, and also you have no idea if enemies are gonna engage you at all. This is okay, Angle. You can hold it for one bullet.
Manca un solo nemico. Spike a terra in A. Spike in A. La spike è qui.
Do you think new MMR system is working now? I don't know, I feel it's the same shit, I'm not gonna lie. Like, matchmaking is really still very fucked up. Like, there's so many games that are one-sided, it's just insane.
Don't push it, don't push it.
Io me ne vado. 30 secondi rimasti.
Don't push it. Neon is out. Neon is running, bro. Like, this is the audio representation of this Neon's mind.
Io me ne vado.
Nothing else exists for this guy. Nothing else, bro. Listen, even if you one tip for ranked solo queue, even if you tell your teammates to do something, some good play, essentially, don't tunnel vision on that call out. Like, still expect from them that they're gonna do some kind of a shit play. Why do you play ASAP now, man? I have no idea where the enemies are gonna go right now. What should you be doing right now? You should be starting top mid with a Neon and following up that guy. Why? So, as I already mentioned at the start of this defender side, you make your decisions based on previous rounds, based on information, based on what enemies are doing, based on the team compositions, economy, and the agent that you play. But, above anything else, you make your decisions based on what type of teammates you got in that match and what the fuck they wanna do. This Neon looks very aggressive right now. And I can bet both... I'm gonna bet one nutsack. Actually, one ball and half of my cock that Neon is gonna play hyper aggressively in this round and probably cost us this round. Good job, Jet. Neon is him. But she's still pushed.
Surprise, motherfucker.
She's still pushed. She's still pushed. I called it. Restless Spell Mister. Thank you for the 1 sub. And anyways, in this round, chances were much higher that the enemies are either gonna go mid or B.
Wait, I try to flank.
Is there any agent that we can win without doing that much aim part? Like, just play time and win. Please rephrase.
Manca un solo nemico. Mi serve...
How do we start B this round, bro? Your team has just obliterated the enemies on the B side. Once again in this round, the best idea is to start mid. Why? Once again, your most aggressive teammate, that is Neon, is gonna push through the doors into the mid, wide open, and take a 1 versus 5 fight. Start top mid, give the smoke to your Neon, fight for mid, and if enemies are pushing B, okay, let's just play retake, fuck it. We have a lot of map control, we can flank, lurk, pinch the enemies, that's it. Like this round, we drop the smoke here, like this. Walk up bottom mid. We can use Paranoia for the Neon as well, if she gets in a fight. Fully lock down the mid area of the map, and then decide what we do next, based on that information. This angle is not bad. You know, this is a good angle to play. Usually you want to play it as a surprise angle. You know, like you basically want to pick the enemies on timing and surprise them. But you can also hold it, you know, like you can play the bottom of this position here, like this. And this is how your crosshair placement should look like. And positioning. Thanks God that Neon didn't die there. Never mind. Okay, we see 2 enemies on the minimap, on mid. Why are we not dropping the bottom mid smoke and running towards these guys? So, Cypher likes to play alone. So right now we need to expect that Cypher is probably gonna be either elbow or Omen. We know that 2 enemies are mid. Rotate, brother. Smoke the bottom mid, go help them out. If you wanna do this type of plays, lurk, flank, push through the main area of the map, you cannot run. We have no idea where is the rest of the enemy team. We only know that Phoenix and Fade are mid. I have absolutely no idea where is the Cypher. And until the moment of time, when you figure out where are all of the enemies, you need to walk and clear every single angle as if an enemy will be there and can be there.
Phoenix low, Phoenix low, Phoenix 1 tap.
We got very lucky, to be honest, in this round again. Like, a lot of these rounds, you're winning more based on luck rather than, you know, doing a right play or a good play. That's why we need to do a lot of clip reviews, man, during February. Yeah, you don't need to push anymore. Where are you going, bro? Relax.
Mid.
Manca un solo nemico.
You don't need to take this type of a fight. You know, like all you have to do right now is just play on the information by your teammates. We can hold this position, you know, jiggle, peek it, and get the information about the enemies. Sky is holding this, Jet is pushing from behind, and one guy is anchoring the doors. NA. Wait for the Jet to complete the push, and then, based on that info, we know what to do.
Spike a terra al centro.
So, 3 rounds ago, enemies pushed A, then they pushed B, then they pushed mid. What is the economy?
Non li sopporto. Ricarico. Devo andare.
This is right now 90% A push. Not only because of the enemy's patterns from the previous rounds, but Phoenix needs only one orb to get the ultimate. Like when you see this on Breeze, you can fully gamble on A side. Like right now, we should literally fully lock down the aim and area of the map and prevent the Phoenix from getting this orb. Like, I'm 90% certain right now, just based on this one info, that enemies are gonna do this. Smoke this, paranoid this, TP up, lock down the aim and area of the map.
Dog, please, please. Can you?
Drop this smoke more towards the right side, so that smoke expands a bit, you know, drop it here. It's just a bit deeper on the right side. This is something we were talking about during our coaching, you know, like when you're fighting with your teammates. The number one thing you should ask yourself is, how can I take that fight with my teammates in less than half a second, and in a way where I'm not gonna be blocking my teammates are not gonna be blocking you, me as well, and where we can just take a clean fight. Like, if your Jet is peeking like this with the operator and dash ability, come a bit closer, and from this position, be ready to swing and take a fight. That's how we fight in this example. If your Jet was closer, then you can play a bit wider and be ready to do this. Also, when you're deploying this one-way smoke, you deploy it slightly faster if you do it from this position right here. Just because there's less travel distance that smoke needs to travel in order to deploy. And as I already mentioned, like, you know, with Omen, you can lock down the aim and area of the map quite easily in this elo and this rank. Just with a different smoke setup. And this one-way smoke here, you usually want to do if you repeat this type of a play like 2 times, or if you need to support your teammates that are aggressively peeking the aim and area of the map. So, I don't know, you're starting mid, but you see that your teammates like want to peek aim in aggressively, you can drop this one-way smoke to help them out and support them early on.
Hey, no.
Now, in this round, like, once again, it seems like B, you know. For the last 5 rounds, like, enemies fully activated the rule of fear and rule of A and B. So, yeah, this round, we should position somewhere on the B side. Now, when it comes to B side positioning, like, to be honest, like, you can, like, where you position really depends on enemy's team composition. You know, against this team comp, you can take these off angles as your starting positions, because enemies literally don't have any real recon ability to reveal you on these positions. I mean, like, the Fade Eye, you can just destroy it, it's not gonna reveal you. The Fade Dogs are not gonna scout you, they're not gonna tag you, so it's okay. You know, in this match we can take a spot like this, for an example, try to kill enemies there. Spot like this, try to kill enemies in window. We can maybe hide here from the initial enemy contact and surprise them as they're moving in. We can also hold this angle. Also, what you can do is we can start on, you know, this position, get into this type of a fight, smoke the choke point, and teleport onto a position like this. And now, ba 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 boo. Then you can teleport back into the site, fuck up the enemy's with a paranoia as they're moving in and take a few free kills. Also in this round, since this is the second, to, you know, we'll have only 2 rounds until the end of this match, until the end of this half. You have 4,650 credits. Buy one more weapon. Why not? You know, like, what you can do here, you can combine this Vandal with a Judge at the backside. So, you get in a fight, like this. You try to get a kill, drop down. You drop a smoke. We bait the enemies one more time. Pick up the Judge. Get the freest kills of all free kills. Especially because the Phoenix has the ultimate. I mean, probably the easiest way for us to kill that Phoenix is with a Judge at the backside. Why? That Phoenix with the ultimate is just gonna be running it down. You know, a lot of the Phoenix players, they just use the ultimate and their brain usage is at like 0%. They just act as a Yoru clone that can shoot. So, you know, that's a very good counter.
On by MB.
This paranoia is just an absolute waste. Like, dropping a paranoia like this is top 10 ways how you can waste your paranoia. Like, this paranoia does nothing. Like, this paranoia is just gonna delay the enemy's push for like 1.5 or 2 seconds, and that's it. Instead of this paranoia, you should have done a smoke in the choke point, reset yourself, drop down, and then use paranoia as the enemies are going out through the choke point to actually kill them and to outplay them, to separate the most aggressive enemies from the passive enemies that are going through the choke point. This is just a waste of utility. Amen odore, amen odorime.
Bella mossa. Stai giù. Nemico avvistato in
Manca un solo nemico.
Who's win?
Spike
Last
a
mid,
terra
last mid,
in
last
B.
mid. Heal me, Sky.
We have Spike, he's going mid.
Via, via, via.
Good smoke there. Good smoke there, like, you know, very good smoke. But, you know, wait for your smoke to deploy before you peek. Come a bit closer. Come a bit closer. And be ready to peek out when your Neon with a knife takes a fight. So, basically, what you really struggle with on both attackers and defenders side, like what is still a very prominent problem in your gameplay, you need to make better decisions based on what your teammates are doing. Like, you tunnel vision way too much on what you want to do that you completely abandon any idea of supporting your teammates, adapting to their place, and just playing with them at the end of the day. Like, you know, in this round, for an example. Okay. You shot. You know, we missed a few shots here. You did a paranoia. You got flashed. You see that your Jet is taking an aggressive position to fight the enemies. Maybe she's gonna push them as well. Your teammates are pressuring the enemies from 2 different sides. Why do you teleport up there? if you see on the minimap that your jet is going for an aggressive play. Just waste of time.
Manca un solo.
Heal me.
Respectable. So, listen here. Your jet is starting with a knife close to the barrier here. She is fully exposed from the window. Based on this body posture and this positioning, we know that our jet, even without any comms, she is doing this. Your only job right now is to hold the window and be ready to fight together with the jet. How do we do that? We start here, holding the window, peek, and as soon as the jet gets in a fight, we're going out and trying to support her. Or even better, jet wanna fight hyper aggressively right now in the beaming area of the map. Smoke the stupid window and just take the fight together with the jet. And that's it. Okay, don't do that type of smoke, do it better, but you get the point. Oh, Cypher with the judge on the attacker, with the back on the attacker side of Breeze. Never let them know your next move, bro. Never let them know your next move. Never. Okay, now you know the 3 enemies are in the A main, so we should be smoking the A main choke point for our Killjoy and rotating as fast as possible to play with the Killjoy and Sky.
Basta scherzare.
I love that your teammates don't have a smoke against the Phoenix ultimate. That's interesting.
Ora muori.
Wait, I have a flank.
Manca un solo nemico. Spike piazzata.
Brother, our teammates are in a war.
Vi siete divertiti, ora tocca a me.
Okay. Okay. Basically, on you know, on a defender side of Breeze, like you know, what your teammates were doing is not bad, actually. You know, like this aggression that our teammates were doing in the elbow, mid, B main, A main, that's actually really fucking good on a new Breeze. Like the new Breeze is really good for locking down the space on the defender side, and it is, you know, equally easy to play, and it's just more easier to play on a defender side than before. Far easier. It's more of a defender side of the map now than attacker side of the map. But your starting positions are just horrendous. You need to adapt yourself a bit more to what your allies want to do to you know, you're in the in 20 seconds of a preparation phase. First thing, ask yourself, like, you know, where do you think enemies will go next? Based on the previous rounds, based on economy, based on ultimate status, how many ultimate points they need for the ultimate, and all of the advanced and basic rules that I was teaching you during our coaching. Then, look at the minimap. Ask what your teammates want to do. You see that your teammates are doing something very risky. Something that's maybe not good for that round. Go and support them, or at least drop them a smoke or some piece of utility that's going to give them higher chances of making that play. Like that's you know, that's the highest problem for you, the biggest problem. Also, another problem is that you should definitely prioritize on Breeze, you know, these long-range weapons a bit more. And if you already have money for the operator, even if you're playing like Omen, pick up the op. You know, like, Omen is not an exclusive weapon only for Jet and movement agents. I mean, you are a movement agent. You're quite literally playing Omen. And everything else we're gonna discuss through private messages, my friend Elisim. Okay, that would be the first Breeze VOD review ever. You know, like good preparation for the playbook that's gonna come out in 2 weeks from now. Yeah, for YouTube, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed this one. Leave a like, subscribe, leave a comment, all of that good stuff. Make sure to join this Discord server for coaching. Right now we have a giveaway for free coaching every single week, and Valorant points as well if you watch the streams. And that's it. Roll the closer.